Another weapon in the war against women, discriminatory laws, and there are many on the books that are holding women back. Earlier, I spoke to Yasmeen Hassan, Global Executive Director of Equality Now. Devastating effect these laws have had on women.
Women don't have the equal rights to enter into marriages, exit from marriages, have right of custody over their children, have the right. Many countries have laws that require wives to obey their husbands. Many countries require women to have sex with their husbands, and they do not recognize marital rape as a crime. Then in economic status, there are many countries where women can't have certain types of jobs. Women can't work at night. In Russia, for example, 456 jobs are prohibited to women, right? Then there are jobs where women can't own property. Especially married women, all property is registered in the names of husbands.
What is more insidious, the laws that allow men to act violently toward women, or the economic laws that keep women from empowering themselves?
I think it's all a continuum, right? To me, if your country, you're a citizen of a country, and that country does not give you equality, does not see, how are you going to achieve gender equality? You know, in the last few years, we've had some groundbreaking reports where women and men, the equality between women and men is being seen as essential to economic development, economic prosperity, and very importantly, to world peace.
So what is it that keeps countries from, at least when it comes to these economic laws, allowing women to be treated fairly? Is it culture? What is it?
Governments can change culture. Government policies changes culture. I was just on another panel with a researcher from South Korea, where she said South Korean government has changed policies for gender equality, and they have changed the value of women in that society.
But for good or for ill, right?
For good or for ill. Bad policies perpetuate a culture of violence against women. Good policies that value women more and treat them as equals, can have huge life-changing effects for both men and women alike in a society.
You know, even here in the United States, there continues to be a problem of sexual assault against women. A statistic we often hear is 1 in 5 women have experienced sexual assault. The National Violence Against Women's Act has been reintroduced in the House by Representative Jan Schakowsky. What impact could passage of that act have on preventing violence against girls and women, not just here in the U.S., but around the world?
I think if they pass this law, which I really hope it would be a huge step forward, because U.S. foreign policy influences a lot of what happens overseas. The resources that are dedicated to certain things can be game-changing, and this law allows for resources to be dedicated not just to addressing violence against women, but preventing it. So it's opportunities for women, and it is education, employment, and health opportunities for women, and then looking at services for victims of violence against women. So I think it would be huge. U.S. should be a leader.
In all of your years participating in advocacy for women around the world, in which area do you feel there is still resistance to change?
The biggest resistance is where things have a veneer of religious sanction. So when we look at laws, when laws are sanctioned by religion, generally family laws, whether it's the law of Israel that does not allow women to get divorced without consent of the husband, or whether it's Sharia law where a woman will inherit half of her brother, those are the laws where we've seen the most resistance to change. And you know, the latest UN reports shows that violence against women, despite all our efforts, women around the world have been making efforts all the time to stem that tide, it has not decreased. So I am very disheartened by that, but progress has been made in women's education. Some progress has been made in women's health, so which is great, but I think this is an issue as we go into 2015 and the post-development sustainable goals for the next 10 years, 15 years. Women's rights have to be prioritized, because I think that's the way for the future.
Yasmeen Hassan, Global Executive Director of Equality Now.